You must control your emotions to manifest is the title of today's video. Again, you must control your emotions to manifest. Welcome to the video. So we're going to get going. As you're coming in, go ahead and let me know that you're here. Let me know if you can hear me. And yeah, I'm streaming on a new platform here. And my objective here is to be able to stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll see how Facebook and Instagram do today. I know YouTube should be working. But yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me in the comments. Again, today's topic is you must control your emotions to manifest. This, by the way, is a topic that I'm surprised I haven't made a video on, quite honestly. Like it struck me that I should talk about this. Oh, you guys can hear me. Thank you. Thank you, Fairy Dragon. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. This is a topic that kind of dropped into my mind the other day. And I'm shocked I haven't talked about this. And I don't really hear other manifestation teachers talk about it either. So it's something we really need to discuss because this is something that's going to make or break you as a manifester is your ability to control your emotions. So what I mean by that is, if you look at people who are doing really well versus people who are struggling, the common denominator is usually emotional control. Okay, emotional control. And I'm speaking from experience. This isn't a judgment against any of you because I do see people emotionally reacting sometimes in the comments or clients becoming emotionally reactive to their situations. And I see it because that's something I went through myself. So, way back before I learned about the law of attraction, as you guys may or may not know, depending on how long you've been following me, when I was in my early 20s, I was an emotional wreck. So much to the effect that, you know, if you haven't heard me say this before, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's a very interesting psychiatric issue. And one of the main symptoms is this lack of emotional control, where you can be ping ponging in your emotions, being very happy, very sad, very angry, all over the place. Okay. And back when that was the situation for me, I did not have a good life. Okay. I've talked about this. I was broke, had all kinds of issues going on. And so this is something important to understand is that when you are emotionally reactive, life becomes very chaotic. But people who have emotional control are able to manifest really great results. Okay. So this is something we got to talk about. Okay. Is how do you become under control of your emotions? So if you're the kind of person where a toxic person enters your world and it can throw you off, someone's bad mood can really get to you. Or if you're the kind of person where if an unexpected expense comes your way, you really start freaking out about it or worrying about it a lot. Or if you're the kind of person where, maybe the person that you're dealing with romantically is pulling away and you're becoming obsessed and stressed. If anything like that's going on for you, get out a pen and paper, okay? Because we got to get that under control so we can manifest positive results. So that's a theme for today's video. All right. So hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I see some action coming on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know about, not Instagram, Facebook and YouTube on this platform. It looks like it's running on Instagram at least. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let me say some hellos real quick here. Hello, Abundant Queen. Hello, Idem. Hello, Apple Castaneda. Hello, Mickey D. Hello, Pre. Pre's got a super chat here. Let me get that in a second. Hello, Rainbow Traveling Yogi. Iwa. Natalie. Hello, hello. I see Mike over here from Facebook. Hello. All right. Some of this stuff's coming through. Good. All right, let's grab a super chat real quick. Of course, if you guys have questions about manifesting, feel free to drop them into the chat. I'll be answering those as I go along. as many as I can. Let's grab this though, real quick. We got a super here from Pre. Hello, Pre. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Andrea. Is it possible to manifest for my newborn baby? He is cluster feeding, so we are all sleep deprived, and he spits up huge amounts after he feeds with discomfort. I'm wondering how he can sleep better and longer. Thank you in advance. Well, again, Pre, congrats again on your baby. Very excited for you. And yeah, okay. So when I had my children, I didn't know about the law of attraction. So when I had little babies, I had problems like this. Okay, so I get it. All right, so the first thing I want to say about this, for any new moms out there that are struggling with this, one of the main things that I would say is probably getting in the way is that when you have a baby, it's a weird time. Okay, so you just had a baby, you're feeling weird. Your body is feeling different. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of chaos. And so when we talk about the law of attraction, we always talk about vibration, right? So new mothers who have infant children, you're dealing with kind of this perfect storm for attracting garbage, right? Because you're not getting enough sleep, you're exhausted, you're probably not feeling so good about yourself right now, okay? And so we have to understand that whenever we're in a depressed state, I'm not saying that you're depressed, but I just mean emotionally depressed state, we're going to start to miscreate in our reality. Okay? So just like if you were sick or if you were exhausted, that period of time where you're adjusting to a new baby is a time where it is very normal for a woman to be dealing with some emotions that are going to reflect in issues. Okay. And so the big thing I would say about this, Pre, a lot of new moms, they really dial in with the baby. And yes, you do need to take care of your baby. Okay. Take care of your baby. Don't stop taking care of your baby. But what I want you to do is I want you to really think about, how can I take care of myself right now as much as possible? And I say this because I look back when my children were infants, newborns, and I think about how I was rolling around my house and the things that I was doing. It's no wonder that it was chaos and that I wasn't getting sleep and that all this stuff was going on because I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating right. Like maybe I'd grab a granola bar every once in a while, but I wouldn't sit down and eat an actual meal. Um, I wouldn't shower as regularly. So I was not made up. I wasn't putting on makeup. I wasn't brushing my hair. I wasn't putting on nicer clothing. I was running around in like dirty pajamas with infant spit up on it. And so now I'm feeling worse and worse and worse and there's more issues being created in that dynamic. So for you, I would really be focusing on, okay, can I work on this? I'm not saying you got to dress to the nines, but maybe invest in some quality pajamas that look nice or some nice lounge wear. Take a shower every day, put on your makeup, get yourself put together every day. That will help elevate your spirits. Okay. And that's what you really need to do to get the shift with the child, is elevate the vibration yourself. I hope that's helpful. Okay. All right. Again, guys, today our topic is you must control your emotions to manifest. I got so much to say here. I don't know if I can get through all of it. A lot to say. Okay. So here's the thing. When you look at people who are manifesting really great stuff, you can see this. So this is the first thing, is to just observe. The people that are attracting the best results have excellent emotional control. I mean, absolutely excellent emotional control. You don't see them getting upset or getting stressed or getting thrown off their game, even in a heated situation. And so, for an example of this reminds me of back when I was in high school. I used to run track. And I was on a relay team. And I was a good athlete. I've always been good with sports. And in practice, I was fast. In practice, I did great. But pretty frequently, when you took me to the track meet, I would choke. So I'd be doing so good. And then I'd get to the meet and I just wasn't as good. And it was to the point where I was probably one of the top runners on the team, But on the relay team, I got put in the slowest position because they knew Andrea's going to choke. Okay. Now, why was this? This was because when you put me in a high pressure situation, I would freeze up. I would get anxious. I'd be looking over my shoulder. Are they going to come and get me? I would be worried. And there was another girl on the team who was a year younger than me. And in practice, I didn't think she ran better than me, quite honestly. I don't think she was as good of an athlete. She didn't have as good of a physique. Like physically, I should have been able to beat her on paper. But she was so cool, calm, and collected. Like when the meet started, you couldn't phase her. She was just business as usual. And so, not surprisingly, they ended up putting her in the first position. Okay. And so, the first position in a relay team is usually the last leg of the relay because you want your fastest person there to go as fast as possible to make up any ground. And it always kind of bugged me like, how come she does so much better than me at the meet? It was because of this. She had emotional control. Okay. And so this is one of the first things. If you find yourself popping off or getting stressed or becoming emotionally reactive, one thing that you want to do is start to notice that the people in your reality that are getting the best results, they have this ability to stay cool regardless of what reality is showing them. That's the big thing. You have to be able to stay cool regardless of what reality is showing you in order to manifest positive results. Because if reality is showing you there is another team that's coming for us that's better than us, and you buy into that, you're going to lose. But if the team comes and you're like, I'm going to stay cool anyway, what you're saying to the universe is this isn't a problem. I got this. Okay, so when I fast forward to today, and I've spent so much time learning about the law of attraction, teaching it to you guys, it's made such a phenomenal improvement in my life. You know, one of the things that I do is I run a business through this. I would not be able to do this if I didn't have emotional control. I wouldn't be able to do it because every time somebody commented something nasty to me, I'd lose it. Or every time there was some stumbling block in my business, I would let that get to me and I would manifest negative results. So you have to develop that sense of, I'm going to stay under emotional control. Okay, that's why it's so important. And I definitely want to share with you guys some suggestions on how to do this. Because even if you're super emotionally reactive, like I was, you can fix it. Okay. You don't have to be that way forever. The reality is you were probably taught to be that by emotionally dysregulated parents. Okay. You've seen people popping off, you've seen people worrying, you've seen people stressing out. And so you've taken that on as this is the appropriate way to deal with my emotions, but actually it's not. Okay. There's another way to deal with your emotions that is much more productive. Oh. Picket Music asks, good morning and happy new year, Andrea. Do you have a go-to method for dealing with anxiety? I've been beaten most CPTSD symptoms, but this one still comes up. Yeah, anxiety. Okay. Well, so with CPTSD, that's complex post-traumatic stress disorder, folks, if you don't know what that is. Okay. So picket music, all that means is that you were in a heightened stressful state for a long period of time. Okay. And so now you've developed maladaptive anxiety. Okay. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. A lot of you guys are emotionally dysregulated because of the environments that you were raised in. Okay. So either you were around emotionally dysregulated people or you had a lot of crazy stuff going on. And then you developed these patterns of becoming emotionally reactive. And anxiety is one of those things. Okay. So maybe there were certain things that were going on in your reality that were causing emotional distress and you reacted in anxiety. And then that becomes kind of something that you automatically respond in anxiety to. Okay. So, for example, so I grew up in an abusive situation, which you may have too if you have CPTSD. And so, little things like when I was younger, my parents were like looking at me or like paying a lot of attention to me, that usually meant I was about to get in trouble. Okay. Something bad was about to happen. And so what would happen to me, or what happened to me, is that if somebody was looking at me, I started to get that sense of anxiety. There's something coming. There's something coming. There's something coming. And so I started to generalize that to other people. So whenever someone was looking at me, I would become anxious. I would become anxious. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you brought up CPTSD. So this is probably kind of like what's going on with you. There are things that cause anxiety that, or caused anxiety in the past, that you're still associating with your present, but they don't need to. So somebody looking at me doesn't mean something's bad's going to happen. That's not what it means. I'm just naturally and habitually going to that emotion. Okay. So what you have to understand is it's a habit, it's a pattern, and it's a habit or a pattern that can be broken. One of the big things is just retraining yourself to react differently. So what I mean by that is initially, if someone was looking at me and I get anxious, I would just go with the anxiety. But instead, what you can do in that moment is take a deep breath, look at them back. And instead of going with the anxiety, look for, oh, this is okay. Everything's working out, and retraining yourself that way. Now, with CPTSD, you may have a lot of those triggers. So if you have CPTSD, you may want to look into EMDR therapy. Can be very helpful because it can allow you to reprogram those anxieties very quickly. Okay, without having to go through it every single time with every single person. If you haven't looked into that, I recommend it. Very, very helpful. Ooh, Adam. Hi, Andrea. I took your manifesting test for a red drum, and the next day I saw a red drum in the store. How do I actually possess the drum using the law of attraction instead of just seeing it in the store? Okay. All right. So what I would say about this, first of all, do you even want the drum? Okay. Or, because I get this question sometimes, or is it I want to prove to myself that I can get the drum? Because a lot of times with when people are learning about the law of attraction, they want to prove to themselves I can do this. Okay. You already proved to yourself that you could do it. Okay. So don't set yourself up continually with these challenges to can I actually do it? Because what you're saying is I don't think I can actually possess it. The reason I'm making this distinction is that if you want to possess it, there are ways. Okay. If you saw a red drum in the store, you could just walk in there and pick it up. Okay. And take it. You could pay for it. Now, why I'm saying this is that when we want to manifest things, we always want to be manifesting them in the easiest way possible. We want to use what's called the path of least resistance. If the path of least resistance for you to have something is to just go on Amazon and pay 20 bucks for it, then I would do that if you really want it. The reason why I'm saying that is very often when people have actual tangible ways to get the things that they want, they'll say, I don't want it that way. I want it to come in some magical, mystical way. Okay. And when we do that, we are shutting out options. Okay. This isn't to say that drums can't just show up to you. They can. But if you're in the habit of rejecting the ones that are there for the taking, you're going to be pushing away that thing. A lot of people I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy. What does it matter if you buy it or if it drops into the driveway? Is the attitude you kind of want to have. You want to have the attitude that I don't care how this comes, just let it come in the easiest way. Okay? And you might be surprised. Like if you actually bought it, like, okay, I'm gonna take it. Let me get it. You might get another one and it might just drop into your driveway. But don't be rejecting the path of least resistance. But again, the big thing is you probably don't even want the drum. Okay. So is it necessary to possess it in that situation? The main thing I'm making a point of here is that we don't want to get in the habit of making things harder than they need to be. Can I do this standing on my head with my blindfolded? What we don't want to do that. You want your reality to be easy. So you want to be allowing the open doors to work for you at all times. I hope that makes sense. All right, again, today's topic, we are talking about you must control your emotions to manifest. Emotional control is the thing that's going to get in your way every single time until you get it sorted out. Now, the reason why is that you get what you're feeling. You get what you're feeling. So if something happens in my reality that I don't like and I become overly emotional about it, I become anxious or angry or stressed. Now I'm putting out a very strong negative signal signal into my reality. This is bad. I don't like it. This is bad. I don't like it. This is bad. Now you're going to attract bad things, attract bad things, attract bad things. This is why emotional control is so important, because you want to be so in control of your emotions that when something shows up in your reality that you do not like, you don't immediately say, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Instead, you say, okay, I'm fine. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Then the problem goes away to match that vibration of everything is okay. That's why emotional control is so important. When we automatically dial into the feeling and go there, we amplify that negative emotion that we had. So, how do we control this? How do we control this? The big thing to start with is understanding what emotions are versus what they're not. Understanding what emotions are versus what they're not. A lot of people are confused about this. Emotions are guidance, they aren't facts. Let me repeat that. Emotions, your emotions are guidance. They are not facts. This has got to be sorted out 100% to get emotional control. Let me explain why. Oftentimes, when something bad, quote unquote, happens in your reality, you have an emotional response, and the belief is this is bad. It is a fact that this is a problem. Okay. So let's say that I'm running around out in the world and a rude person, I come across a rude person, someone who is rude to me. If I believe that my emotions are facts and this person is rude to me and I feel negative, I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to say it is a fact that this person is an a-hole. It is a fact that this person is a jerk. It is a fact that this is a bad person. Now, how do we create our reality? We create our reality through our beliefs. So if I have a negative reaction to somebody and I believe it is a fact because of my emotional state that this is a bad person, now this rude person is going to stay a rude person in my reality. They're going to get meaner to me. They're going to throw more insults. They're going to cause more problems. That's the problem with looking at your emotions as some kind of, they're not a fact. Your emotions are guidance. They have nothing to do with the external world. They are guidance about where you are pointed. So if somebody comes into my world now who's being rude, and I suddenly get this negative emotion, I know, oh, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off. This has nothing to do with this rude person, nothing to do with them at all. I'm off track. That's why I attracted the rude person. Okay. It is guidance. That's the first thing to understand. A lot of people don't like this, or they don't like it at first. Oh, it's my fault that the person was rude. It was my fault that I lost the money. It was my fault that there was a fire. It was my fault that. Yes, but that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. The reason why is that that means it's under your control. These things aren't happening to you all willy nilly. Okay. It's not a fact that the world is a bad place. It's not a fact that the person's a bad person. No. I wandered into squirrely emotional territory and attracted something. So we have to understand that when you understand that your emotions are guidance, you can start using them as guidance. Okay. And so that's the thing. We don't want to lean into the feeling, because when we lean into the feeling, we say, this is a fact. And then we start creating crappy facts in our reality. Instead, whenever you feel a negative emotion bubble up, oh, I'm out of alignment right now. I better go take some deep breaths. Better go do some self care. Better go listen to some soothing music. Okay. That's the first thing. We got to remember your emotions are not facts, they are guidance. You got to get those things separate. Okay. And yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I don't even know if I'm on Instagram right now. This is what I'm talking about, though. Okay. So, right now, just as an aside, while I'm doing my little plug here, I'm trying something new. I'm putting a bunch of different platforms on one streaming platform, and it looks like one of them isn't working. Oh, well. So what? I don't need to get upset about it. You get it? This is what you have to understand. Now, because I stay non reactive to these types of situations, what usually happens is something kind of cool comes out of it. Like I'll learn something new or something neat will kind of happen. So you just don't let things get under your skin. You just keep it moving. But yeah, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I do these lives every single week, sometimes 2 times a week. And I'd love for you guys to come along for the ride. And also, another quick plug, I do have some freebies. And if you guys haven't picked these up yet, make sure that you do. One of them is great for the new year. It is a tip sheet on how to manifest your best body. Okay, manifest your best body. We got a QR code here. Yeah, there's a QR code for it. It's at bestbodytips.com. Bestbodytips.com. If you'd like to use the law of attraction to help you manifest the physical body results that you're looking for the new year, those are some free tips that you can use to try out. Check them out. Or if you don't have access to do the QR code, you can just go to bestbodytips.com. And I'm sure my lovely assistant, Mary, will also drop that link in the chat if she hasn't already. The other freebie that I do have, if you haven't taken it yet, someone was asking a question about it earlier, is a manifesting test that I have. Here's the QR code for that one. Now, with the manifesting test, what you do is you put something out and you watch it come back. It's very simple. You put something out and then see if it shows up in your reality. Lots of people have success with this test. It helps you show to yourself that you really are the creator of your reality. So if you would like to take that test, that's the QR code for that one, or you can go directly to manifestingtest.com. All right. That is our little plug for the moment. Oh, Monica says, "Good morning, Andrea. You signed up for the membership and the next day you got a raise and another job offer." Ooh, good job, Monica. Thank you for signing up for the membership and congratulations on manifesting the money and another job. That's awesome. Good for you. Peace. Dear Andrea, great topic. Do you make a distinction between regulating emotions and controlling emotions? Yeah, I'm not. I'm using the word controlling emotions, and it sounds a lot more aggressive than it needs to. It is more about regulating your emotions, but what I would say, it's not really regulating or controlling, it's using your emotions appropriately. Okay? Using your emotions appropriately. Your emotions are a blessing. Okay. They are guidance. They will show you the way. And what I mean by that is there are things that you guys want. Maybe it's a business or it's money or it's a relationship. Your emotions show you if you're getting there or not. So when you're feeling good, it's like a game of hot and cold with the universe. The universe is saying to you, when you feel good, warmer, warmer, warmer. You're getting closer, you're getting closer, getting closer. When you feel negative emotion, it's the universe saying colder, colder, cold. You're getting further away, further away, further away. So your emotions are a huge blessing. So you don't want to shut them out. You don't want to ignore them. You don't want to act like they're not there. You don't want to feed into them and make them crazy because that's not using them appropriately. They are guidance. They are like stop signs in the road and green lights. That's what they are. And so when I'm talking about controlling your emotions, what I really mean is following the guidance the way that it's intended rather than all these dysregulated ways that we've learned to associate with our emotions. We've seen people popping off and losing it, and we believe that that's the way you deal with your emotions. That's not how you deal with your emotions. That's acting like the emotions are facts rather than guidance. Hope that clears it up. All right, guys. Again, today our topic is you must control your emotions to manifest. And yeah, follow the guidance. All right. So here's the next thing. Okay. This is how you use your emotions. Okay. So again, like I just said, emotions are a blessing. Okay. They are not a curse. They are a blessing. Now, some feel good, some feel bad. They are all a blessing. But you need to learn when to go and when not to go. Okay. Like I was just mentioning, the better you feel, the closer you get to your dreams. The better you feel, the more positive things you attract into your life because you're putting out a signal that everything's good, everything's working out, everything's happy for me. Then your reality will reflect that to you with all kinds of stuff that you want showing up. But when you are in a negative emotional state, the message that you're saying about your reality is this sucks. I hate this place. This is awful. And then you attract all kinds of things that reinforce that negative feeling. Now, most people will go with either side. If they're happy, they go with it. If they're sad, they're going to go with it. If they're angry, they go with it. If they're worried, they go with it. You do not want to do that. You want to become very, very discerning about what emotions you play into and which ones you don't. Now, this isn't about shutting off your emotions. You always want to acknowledge an emotion when you see it. So, for this, the way I want to explain it to you that I think is helpful is if you think of surfers. Okay, I live near Cocoa Beach in Florida, so there's lots of surfers near me. There's guys that get on their surfboards and gals, and they ride the waves. I do not surf, but I like to sit back on the beach and watch them. Okay, and here's what they do: they hang back in the water, okay, before the waves are going to break. So they're looking off into the distance and they're seeing the waves come in. They get to decide which waves they want to ride. And they get to decide which waves they're not going to ride. So they're very, very discerning. They're looking back there. That one doesn't look that good. That one does look good. When they see a wave that looks good, they get ready for it. They start paddling. They get on it and they ride it. They ride it as far as they can. When there's a crummy wave, they don't get down on their board and paddle. They just sit there. They let that current kind of go past them and they wait for the next one. That's what you want to be doing. So what I mean by this is if you find yourself suddenly in a state where you're feeling good, keep doing what you're doing. Take as much of a wave ride as you can with that good feeling. Eventually it will peter out, okay? Because your emotions are always static. Take it as far as you can to get as much good stuff out of it as you can. And then get back to it and wait for the next wave. Okay. But if a wave comes in that looks no good, or it looks like it's going to topple you or destroy you, you don't want to be getting on that wave. Okay. So when you start to sense that I'm not feeling that good, we don't want to start thinking, so, well, why am I not feeling good? This is so bad. Why isn't this working out? These never work out for me. You don't want to do that because that's you getting on the bad wave. Okay. This is how we use our emotions appropriately. The ones that are putting you in a positive trajectory, you want to dial in on those as much as possible because what you focus on, you attract more of. The more happy waves you ride, the more of them are going to come to you. The more you're going to be in a positive state. The more negative waves that you ride, that you go to that place, you get stressed out, you follow those negative feelings, the easier it's going to be for you to get on those negative waves. Okay? So, when we're talking about following your guidance, you have to understand that when you feel a negative emotion coming on, the best time to catch it is at the beginning. Okay. You want to catch it before you get on the surfboard. You want to see it come. I'm kind of feeling off about this. This person wants to go out to dinner tonight and I kind of don't want to go. I kind of don't want to go. Don't go. Let it pass. Okay. I'm on the phone call with mom and she's complaining and it's starting to bug me. It's starting to, but instead of going there with her, mom, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Hang up the phone. Don't go there. Okay. That's the big thing. Whatever activity you're doing, whatever conversation that you're in, whatever thing that you're doing in that moment that's not feeling good, stop. Again, your negative emotions are like stop signs. That's all they're telling you to do. Don't keep going. Just stop. That's all you got to do. And then wait for the next wave. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Joanna on Facebook asked, would love your insight and any tips on how to stay in control of our emotions when triggered. Ooh. Triggered. Okay. So, so the big thing with getting triggered. Okay, so I get it. Um my way of dealing with emotions was mostly with rage. Okay, that's I was a hothead. That was my big thing. So if somebody triggered me, I would like go there. Okay. So I get it. So if someone's nasty to you or unkind to you, the do we get on the surfboard or not? Do I decide to start laying into this person? Do I decide to start call somebody else to complain about it? Or do I decide to stop, take a deep breath, and ask myself what feels better? What could I do right now that would be a better use of my time, more pleasurable use of my time? That's the big thing. Okay. Somebody cuts me off in traffic. I can lay on the horn. I can flip him the bird. That's me getting on the surfboard. Or, okay, that didn't feel good. Take a deep breath. What would feel better? Well, let me turn on this music. Maybe I'll talk to somebody on the phone. Maybe think about something else. Maybe pull over and take a minute. What would feel better? That's the big thing. Okay. It's not to say that you're not allowed to pop off on somebody and give them a piece of your mind. You can. You can. It's not that you can't do those things, but we don't want to be in that habit of as soon as we get triggered, that means that I have to blow up. They set me off. That's not what happened. Okay. That's the thing about being triggered. The whole phrase of it, and it's a common phrase, everybody says it, getting triggered, is inaccurate. Nobody just shows up in your reality and triggers you. That's not what happens. What happens is something's going on with me. I haven't been watching these waves and I'm on a negative one right now. I'm already a little annoyed or I'm already a little stressed or I'm already a little tired. Things aren't going so well and now I'm attracting to me crappy people who are reinforcing those feelings. You get it? So that's the big thing is understanding that if they showed up, I was already there. I was already at the party. Okay? They didn't just show up out of the blue. That's the big thing. It's hard to take control over that initially and to understand that, you can't just throw it all on them. But it's not that you're a bad person. We all have these emotional fluctuations. Okay? When I'm in a bad mood, crap starts showing up. That's it. That's guidance. Thank you, triggering person, for showing me that I'm not in alignment right now. Then move on. Jasmine, in the past year, I've lost a bunch of friends, became ill, and I've also been unemployed for a year. How do I manifest a job, health, and new friends as I am feeling fear from everything? Okay, one job, Jasmine, one job, vibration. That's it. When you guys are seeing this, where like there's this windfall of drama and crap that's showing up, okay? Don't worry about fixing all the little problems. Don't worry about fixing the friends and the job, and don't worry about fixing any of it. That's it. I got one job. Okay. I'm going to focus on my vibration. That's it. So this year, that's my resolution. I'm going to focus on my alignment as best as possible. I'm going to use my emotions as guidance as much as possible. I'm going to jump on as many of those happy waves as I can. And if a negative one starts to come, I'm going to let it slide, let it pass, and go find something better to do. Okay. Simplify. Okay. Because what happens is when your vibration starts to go up because you're taking care of yourself or you're sticking with the happier emotions, these problems resolve themselves. You won't have to resolve them because my vibration's up now. I feel better. I'm feeling good. Things are working out. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things get better. It's that simple. In fact, and there's been times in my life where I've kind of lost my mojo and spiraled down. It's almost kind of a relief now when I start attracting a bunch of crap because I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't have to do anything. Just got to relax and take it easy and let my vibration go back up and let these things correct themselves. But don't try to fix all the problems. There's lots of problems. Don't try to fix all the problems. That's just paying attention to the problems and keeping them active. Instead, oh, just got to work on my vibration. That's it. Do some self care, take some naps, put yourself together, listen to some good music, eat good food, do things that make you feel happy. Make that your focus this year. Don't need to work on anything else. That's it. You will be amazed. Kalpana, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you. Wrong. You don't have to wear makeup. That's true. You don't. But if you like to, then do. I'm not telling you what you have to do, Catherine. These are just things you can do. And I personally do believe that when you put yourself together, you do feel better. You know, now maybe some people don't, but that's my personal experience. All right, again, today our topic is you must control your emotions to manifest. Control your emotions to manifest. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay. All right, here's another thing about controlling your emotions or using them as guidance. We're often waiting for the emotion, okay? You can set yourself up for success. Okay, so this is the other piece to it. So I just had a question from Jasmine about, how do we fix all these problems? One of the best things to do is to be very proactive in your vibration game. Very proactive. Don't just wait for life to get squirrely to course correct. Rather, you want to get into the habit of setting the tone for the emotional stage. And so there's a few ways that this can be done. One of them I talk about a lot is first thing in the morning. Okay, first time in the morning is the most important time of the day because again, what you focus on, you attract more of. So what you put at the beginning of your day, you are naturally going to attract more of. So you want to be real careful about what you put at the beginning of the day. A lot of people are waking up, they're picking up this thing, they're jumping on social media, and they've seen about 35 things that tick them off before they even got out of bed. Don't do that. Okay. You want to be very careful about what you do right at the beginning of the day. So, only be doing stuff that's going to help you feel positive. So, thinking about positive things that are going on, things to be appreciative of, maybe journaling some of your successes. Maybe there's certain materials or books or podcasts that are you always feel good when you listen to or watch. Put those on. You really want to set the tone. When you do this, you take a lot of the work off of your plate because, again, what you focus on, you attract. So, if your first few thoughts in the morning are this is going well and this did good and da da da, now you start to attract to yourself. Oh, now you're having a good hair day, or that cup of coffee was really good, or your outfit's banging today. Like things start moving in that direction naturally without you having to do too much. Much easier. Much, much easier. So be very careful about the beginning of the day. The other thing is to be very careful about, what you're putting yourself in front of. Okay? You want to remove bothersome and unnecessary influences as much as possible. This isn't to say that you can't do anything that's a little risky or ever watch a horror movie or anything like that. But you want to be careful about what you're putting yourself in front of on a regular basis. Okay? If you're hanging around somebody who always complains and you're always annoyed, it's going to be hard to control your emotions in that situation. Okay. So you want to be filtering out these things that are causing you distress. So, like for me personally, like I have Facebook I use for business, I have Instagram I use for business. I don't scroll them. I don't do that. Why? It's a minefield out there. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you got to delete these accounts, but you have to find a way to decide what's going to keep me in alignment and what's not. When you remove a lot of unnecessary and bothersome influences, I think a lot of people think their lives are going to get boring. Okay, so like for me personally, I used to be a hot mess. So I did drugs, I drank, I stayed up late. I made all kinds of bad decisions. And I was always creating chaos in my reality. Well, now I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't stay up late, I don't scroll social media. You might think that my life is very boring because I'm not doing all of those things, but it's actually quite the opposite because now I'm in a better mood. I'm attracting better situations and I'm attracting to myself more fun things to do that I wouldn't have time for if I was wasting my time over in these activities over here that were dragging down my vibration. Okay, so a lot of controlling your emotions is about setting the tone. Again, use the beginning of your day to your advantage. And then as you're going through, you don't have to clear everything out all at once, but especially this is the beginning of a new year. I'd be thinking about what are some things I can kind of tone down a little bit. Things that I've been doing or putting in front of myself that consistently make me upset or feel like garbage. Can I put those away and replace them with a fun activity? Replace them with something that's more exciting for me or more enjoyable to help my vibration so that my emotions do stay in control more often. All right. I see we got another super chat here. Salika, thank you very much. Oh, that's a pretty profile pic. All right. Hi, Andrea. How to manifest a tidy, beautiful, organized home of 6. Oh, that's a lot of people. We have so much stuff, abundance, but my brain craves a balance between a minimalist and a sumptuous aesthetic. Okay. So I'm kind of a neat freak, but I didn't used to be. So I'll kind of explain how I do it. When I was young, I was like a hoarder. So I had junk everywhere. Everything was always dirty and a mess. I'm not like that anymore. I don't have a home of 6, but I was like a tornado of 6. So, all right. So here's one of the big things that's helpful for me when it comes to things just being tidy. What I'm hearing from you is like, all this stuff that needs to be organized. Okay. All this stuff. And it's like a big job. Okay. So cleaning for me used to be a big job. Clean the whole house. I got to clean all this stuff up. And so when we see something like this as like a big, tall order, it feels overwhelming. Okay. And that's why it stays a problem, is because it feels it's this enormous task that needs to be done to clean all this stuff. So whenever something seems big, you want to make it small. I talk about this a lot because smaller things are easier to manifest. So for me, when it comes to organizing my home, I look at it that way. It's small. So what I do is any room that I go into, so like right now I'm in my office. When I'm ready to leave this room, I just quickly scan and say, okay, is there anything in here I could tidy up real quick? Quick is the operative word. I'm not cleaning the whole office, guys. I'm not doing that. But I may look and say, okay, there's a glass I could take out of here. Here's some trash I could throw away. I pick up a couple of things and I go, okay? Maybe my next stop is in the kitchen. I'm there for a few minutes, okay? While I'm there, clean this up real quick, throw away my paper. And before I leave the kitchen, I do the same thing. What are a couple of things I could clean up real quick? Quick being the operative word, okay? Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is that if you're just in the habit of every room I go into, I just make it look a little nicer. Every time I go into a room, I make it look a little nicer. Every time I go into a room, I make it look a little nicer. That's the vibration I'm putting out. And also, I'm always tidying up. I'm always tidying up, and it's fun and it's easy and it's quick. Do you see how that gains momentum? Now, you're not going to get an entire house cleaned in an afternoon doing that, but if that's the habit that you have, your house is always going to stay clean. Okay? So try that out. That's what I do. Another super chat here. Fairy Dragon. Dear Andrea, what to do with strong feelings of guilt that come up out of the blue right after waking up? Ooh, yeah. Okay. So, one thing I would recommend, if that's happening to you a lot, is before bed, you might want to implement an evening routine. Because when you wake up, when you go to bed, you're going to fall asleep ruminating on whatever is kind of at the top of your mind. Okay, so what this is showing me is that there's a good chance that there's some things I'm worrying about, and I'm taking those to sleep with me, and then I'm waking up with them. Okay, so again, we always want to be preventive with our emotions. So you may want to start thinking about what are some things I could do to soothe myself and calm down and feel good before I go to bed. You don't need to be perfect, but maybe getting some nice pajamas, getting some new sheets, doing some kind of, I don't know, taking a bath or listening to some music, something that feels calm and relaxing before you go to bed. Okay. But when you wake up, if you guys wake up and you have negative emotion, that's okay. You don't want to be, oh, I'm screwing up. I'm starting off the day on the wrong. No, 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 no. That's just a wave that came in. I'm just going to let that float on by. And the way that I'm going to do that is by having something ready to go. Okay. So I like having something ready to go at the beginning of the morning. For me, it's a handful of affirmations that are true, that feel good. And I say them until I feel pretty decent, and then we can go move on. So it'd be a really great idea, Fairy Dragon, to sit down and think of maybe the top 10 things in your life that you're most thankful for. And if you need to, put them next to your bed, and the second you wake up, pull that sheet of paper up and recite it. I'm, thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my body. I'm thankful for my family. I appreciate the money that I've got. I've got food in the fridge. I've got running water. Da, 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 da. Do that till you're feeling a little bit better. Then go into your day. Okay. If you just do that, hit it hard in the beginning, you can squash that negative feeling very quickly. The problem is when we wake up with the guilt and we take that ride with it, it starts to amplify and then we can't shut it up. So you got to catch it when it's small. Kula asks, "Hi Andrea, can we manifest people being more emotionally regulated and being less reactive towards us, especially if it's difficult to get away from them right now? Thank you for all you do." Well, thank you, Koala. Yes, you can. Okay. Again, the main thing is understanding that they are not inserting themselves in your reality. Okay. So people are mirrors. Everything that's in your reality is a mirror. It's just showing you what's going on inside. So if people are showing up and they're giving you trouble, I'm upset about something, or I have negative labels about these people, or I feel stressed in this situation. So these people are just showing up to show that to me. Okay. The big thing is acknowledging, oh, this is guidance for me. For me. What do I need to do right now to get calm? What do I need to do right now to feel better? What do I need to do right now to get to my happy place? Don't try to change them. Okay. Thank them for showing up to show you the guidance. Thank you, stop sign. So I didn't go hurtling into oncoming traffic. That's what that person is, by the way. Because if you notice that that person is showing you, I got to get recalibrated, and you stop at the stop sign, you're not going to attract the gorilla coming after him. That's the thing we have to understand. Okay. When things show up in your reality that you don't like, you want to, it's a stop. Thank God there's a stop sign here, because I don't want to know what's hurtling after me after this stop sign. Now, see, when we look at somebody like that, now we're validating them. Well, I didn't like what they said to me. I didn't like the way they made me feel, but I can appreciate that they're showing me that I'm pointed in a direction I don't want to go, because I don't want to go hurtling off this cliff. So when I do that, now I'm validating this person's presence here is helping me. It's help. You are helping me, sir. Thank you for helping me. He's helping now, because that's the message I'm putting out. His behavior will alchemize and he'll become more helpful. That's the trick. We can't fight against them. This is bad. You are wrong. You need to change. That just means I'm going to create bad, wrong things I want to change. If instead, thank you for showing me that it's time to recalibrate, you are helping me, now they're going to help you more. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. Again, guys, please do remember we got some freebies. If you haven't picked them up yet, again, the best body tip sheet. A lot of people like to get this one at the new year. If you are interested in manifesting the body of your dreams this year, these are some of my favorite body manifesting techniques. This is a free cheat sheet for you. Feel free to pick it up at bestbodytips.com. And also, if you hadn't yet taken my manifesting test, make sure to do that at manifestingtest.com to prove to yourself that you really are the creator of your reality. And then in addition to that, yeah, make sure that you have subscribed and liked the video. I actually have to hop off a couple minutes early today, guys. I am running to a lunch with a girlfriend. So usually I stick around for a few more minutes, but today I actually have to go. But thank you so much for showing up. It's been really nice seeing you guys. I do plan on being back on Thursday. On Thursday, I'm going to review this stream to see how it worked on Facebook and Instagram. It looks like people were able to jump in on Facebook, which is good. Instagram, I didn't see anybody. So I don't know. If you guys have seen me, that's great. I haven't seen you. So I got to go through and check that. But I will be back on Thursday and I'll get all of that sorted out. But yeah, that's about it. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye-bye.